This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
Back in the day on this show, we talked to the woman who created goat yoga. And recently we talked to both a farmer in the UK who does cow cuddling and also a farm in Vermont where you can play with golden retrievers. It seems that people want to be at one with nature. This next item might be right up their alley. Josee Gautreau runs Llamazing Adventures in New Brunswick, where you can take a walk with a llama or alpaca. She joins us via Zoom from New Brunswick. Hi, Josee.
Hi, how are you?
Just tickety-boo. Thanks very much for being on the program with us. How did this idea come to be in the first place?
Well, thanks for having me. It came to me kind of by mistake. I had a small hobby farm, and I got two cute, fluffy alpacas to add to the hobby farm. I had horses previously, and I used to bring them to the beach in my car when it was like really warm outside so they could cool off. And then I posted it on social media, and it was a hit. Everyone wanted to join me, and then I didn't have enough time to bring everyone. So that's where my light bulb moment started of doing some llama tours on the beach.
Now, I saw a story about you on the news just a little while ago, and I've seen llamas on film before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they seem to have such personality.
They really do. Every llama or alpaca have like a very unique personality. And as soon as you spend like 2 minutes with them, you already can tell from a mile away their kind of personality. They're smart, they're funny, they're quirky, very amazing animals.
So when you mentioned the fact that you went to the beach with the llamas, and I guess it drew some attention, but when did you decide that this could be a business?
Originally it was just supposed to be like, I thought I was only going to have a couple walks a week here and there when tourists or people wanted to come for some animal cuddling and therapy. And I actually ended up being fully booked for 4 months straight when I first opened up, and I had to quit my other business and do this full time.
What was your other business?
I used to do permanent makeup and medical aesthetics, which is completely different. But I've always dreamed of working with animals. I just never knew exactly what I wanted to do with animals. So this is beyond any dreams I've ever had. It surpasses my dreams.
And where are the people coming from? Are they people within the neighborhood? Are they people within the province? Or are they coming from far and wide?
I have people coming from all over the place. I opened during the pandemic. So originally it was just local people. And that kept me pretty busy. It was like a new activity to do in the area. We don't have lots of things to do in the area that we're in. And now that everything is opened up again, I'm starting to see people from all over the world that come and visit us and see our amazing animals.
Okay, so initially when you started, were you surprised? And again, you say you started during the pandemic, so obviously it was very, very local. But after that experience, were you surprised by how broad it has become and how much publicity and popularity that you have?
Absolutely. It's like I said, I wasn't expecting it to blow up like it did because everyone thought I was crazy and weird for like talking about opening a business like this at first. And then once it got super popular and everyone wanted to come and do the tour and loved it, then after that, it kind of became, I kind of normalized seeing llamas everywhere.
So how much does it cost to take a llama tour, and how long is that tour, and where does it go?
So we have a lot of different options. So we've got our property here. We're on 120 acres. So we have really nice trails by the river on our farm. So that one is either an hour or an hour and a half. And it's about $30 per person up to $55 per person, depending on the option that you pick. And then we have the beach walk that is usually from June 1st to end of August. And that one is $55 per person.
And again, I mentioned in the introduction, I mentioned some of the other things that are out there, goat yoga and a dog, cow cuddling, and golden retrievers. Are you aware of all those other things? And was this part of the aha moment, or did you just start this and realize that there are other people doing other things with other animals?
I had no idea that llama walking was a thing, but there is some like businesses and stuff around like the UK and the US and like Ontario area. Um, and like all the other animal related businesses that are unique. I have heard of some of them too, and I think it's just amazing that people are starting to pop up with all those cool ideas and activities that includes like nature and animals together. I think it's just so good for our mental health.
About 15 years ago, I interviewed someone who was also involved with llamas. This was a guy who was training llamas to be golf caddies. Are you familiar with that?
No, I've never heard of that. That's very interesting.
And it just brings me to the fact that, and again, I've seen some of the videos of your animals, and I said earlier that they have such a personality. It sounds like the animals seem to enjoy the humans even more than the humans enjoy the animals.
Sometimes, yes. So when they're very food driven, and when they see people come to the farm, they usually will storm to the gate or know that they're getting lots of treats, and they just love it.
What kind of reaction, again, like I said, I saw you on the news recently. What kind of reaction are you getting from media about this? And how far does that media come from?
From all over. We've been featured in like all the news channels, CTV, Global, Radio Canada. We've been on a lot of different podcasts and all kinds of online promoters. So it's a unique business, and it's caught a lot of attention. So lucky for me, it gave me great publicity.
Do you see yourself going beyond what you're doing right now with the simple walks and the hikes and trails? Are there other things that people can do with the animals? For instance, I understand. I think I saw you a video where you had a camel.
I do, yeah. So I have the camel. I got him 3 years ago and wanted to do some camel rides because originally, like, I was a horseback rider. I had horses. So the camel is like the best of both worlds between a horse and a llama. But he's just a bit more of a handful than I'd like. Still to this day, I've put lots of training in him. So hopefully when he's a bit older, we'll be able to do some trail rides, but he seems to like eating and sleeping better than going for adventures.
And don't camels spit?
Not mine. Some camels
Oh,
can spit, just like llamas and alpacas, but it's more like a defense mechanism. So the llama and alpacas will only spit when they're fighting for food between each other. And then that's usually how people get hit is they're in the way and the llama did not have a great aim.
okay. Now, I understand you want to get into something called llama campground and also overnight backpacking trips. Explain that.
Yes.
And when do you plan on doing that?
Well, it depends. Everything on the farm is a bit of a slower process than I would like it to be, but I've been working on it over the winter, cutting some trees down that have been blown over by a few storms we've had. I'm hoping by June or July we might have a couple camping spots set up. And then, of course, people can have, a cheap place to stay and have the animals close by and our nice walking trails. We've got the beach 5 minutes away from our location, so it's a very nice spot. And then I am an avid backpacker. I like to go out in the woods for a couple of days at a time with my backpack and just enjoy nature. So then we're currently building some llama saddles so we can put some backpacks on them, and they can help us bring some supplies and join us with their lovely company during the hike. And then we can, camp in really nice remote areas with them.
And again, what's the reaction of the people, both old and young, when they come in contact with a llama for the first time?
Oh, they're just amazed. A lot of people never like really touched or handled llamas before, right? Because if you're not in the country, usually you won't have those kinds of animals in your backyard. And it just brings so many smiles and so much happiness and excitement from people. I just love seeing how happy everyone is when they get to meet our llamas or animals.
And how early does someone have to book to enjoy the llamas that you offer? And I'm assuming that they can also go to your website to find out all that information and also how to book.
Absolutely. So our website, llamazingadventures.com, .ca. All the information is there. People can book online. Sometimes you can be lucky and have very last minute spots. Sometimes, especially in the summer months, you'll have to book like a month in advance. Sometimes a couple weeks you'll get to find a spot. And we also do all kinds of events, birthday parties, schools, weddings, you name it. We've probably done it already. So we're pretty crazy in the things that we do sometimes. So it keeps things entertaining.
And speaking of pretty crazy, I understand that you take some of the llamas and you actually go and visit seniors' homes.
I do, yes. Yep. So we do lots of senior homes. They're all litter trained, which means they will not poop inside. They know when it's time to go potty. So they can easily go in buildings and they don't shed. Their fur is hypoallergenic. So it's really great animals to bring to give them happiness.
Josee, you must be living the dream.
Yes, most of the time, yes. It's not always easy living the farm life and running a place like this. Lots of challenges, especially that we're off grid. We have no power, so we generate our own power and make everything work the unconventional way. But we're finally getting functional and organized here because we've only been here for like a year or two now.
Well, congratulations on all that you're doing and continued success with Llamazing Adventures.
Well, thank you so much.
Josee Gautreau, who runs Llamazing Adventures in New Brunswick. You can go to my website at thestuffile.com, check out the show number for this program, which is show number 0766, and you'll find the link to their site.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuph is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.